Hey everybody, it is August 2019 and it is time for a tour of the desert cottage garden. There's not a whole lot going on as far as I've got nothing done. I did not finish trellises. I have not worked on the turf. We've got some suffering happening here to report, but then we do have something fabulous. Look at those sunflowers. They went all crazy. They are so beautiful. And the birds just are loving them. I'll have to try to get out here. I keep trying to get out here early so I can get a little video of all the bees. There's some in there. They stay going through here most of the day, but early in the morning it's just full of bees, and the sunflowers in the morning and evening are full of birds. So that's been a success. I've been really happy with that. And our juniper tree over here is doing really well. It's the same tree as that's in the backyard, so it will become quite large. It'll fill this whole space and get taller than the roof, but it will take 20 to 30 years to do that. So in the meantime, we have these wonderful sunflowers. I'm so glad I planted them here this year. But you can see where the birds have been chewing on the edges here, and the honeybees have been getting in. So, oh, there's a little honeybee back there, but I don't think you'll see it. Let's see, get up close. Can you see the little honeybee? That little one. And I've been real happy with that. This is the toughest part of my yard. Of all the spaces, this one's the hardest because it gets the hottest. And so my effort has been to cool the area down, and a lot of it's been successful, and it still needs a lot of work to be more successful. This tree is not doing well. It's I don't know if it'll make it. This one and the other one, they have been just burning up in the sun. So here's the other view. You can see all the dying parts of it. So, I am going to try to keep it alive, but they may not last. It's a situation of wrong tree, wrong place, wrong time. So all three of them are wrong. It's not exactly the tree that should have been there, but they do grow here. There's one back there. They just need a good establishment, and so one of the things that I do is I try to plant my trees when I put in trees in the winter, early spring, like February. And these went in a little bit later, and this is a super hot area, so they have not done well. So I may have to replace them, and I will replace them with Leland cypress. The cypress do much better here than the cedars. The Russian sage has done really quite well, and they are now down to once a week watering. So they're a true desert plant. They look really beautiful. Bees love them. Add to some prettiness. And our rose has gotten bigger, so it's coming into its second breath, I guess. And it's starting to wrap around the little trellis, which is really great. And the other rose on the other side did die. It did not make it through the heat. Again, that's the right plant, wrong place, wrong time. So later I will do another rose, a different rose, but I'm gonna bring it up against here instead of over here, so it won't get as much heat. And we'll see if that works. I don't know. I've had some trouble with roses this year. This desert willow is doing really well. So this is the second year it's in. I've talked about how small it was when I planted it last year. Now, right now, it really looks like a big bush. And eventually, I will come down in here and I will start cleaning off these little branches down here, which I have begun. I did that earlier, early this spring. And I will do that again this coming spring. And eventually, when it gets tall enough, it will start to lean over like a willow tree, only a desert one. They get these really big seed pods right here. These are all seed pods. And when they fall off, they'll easily grow more of these trees. But I don't want them here, so I'll either save them for another location or give them away or just do nothing. Looks like we have a little issue up here. Got a dead flower there. Pull that off. And what's interesting too about these trees is they will actually emit water out of them. Like you could get a little shower from them. It's kind of weird. All right, so these grasses have done okay. They're struggling a little bit down at the bottom. This one has been in for 2 years because I cut a little tiny hole in the turf to test to see if anything would grow underneath the turf, and that did succeed. So then I pulled the turf away and planted a few more. It is doing pretty well, so I'm happy with that. I think it's going to be okay. And the others are struggling just a little bit, but they're hanging in there. And then the lilac, it is not growing tremendously, but it is still alive, which is good, because this time of year, to survive it is the important thing. July, August, and September are actually our hottest months, at least in my head. You know, I am pretty sure I'm accurate on that, but the end of September it starts to cool off. So the roughest months to keep plants alive really are July and August and part of September. I've not got that turf pulled up down there because the reason is that it does slope, and I'm going to need to put some retainer stones along the edges, and it's been outrageously hot, so I'm just not going to work in it until it starts to cool down in September. But I really wanted to show you how beautiful the sunflowers are doing, and they're very cheerful, and I just love that. Molly's barking. And these little plants that I had in the pots, they're doing okay. They're doing okay. Little Rose back there is doing okay. And these guys are just, you know, hanging out. They're doing all right. Hopefully they'll make it through August and September, and if they do, then they'll be pretty good for the rest of their lives, hopefully. But anyway, thanks for coming along on the tour. Miss Molly says I want to too. And then later this fall, I'll get started working on things out here again. I'm probably going to have to replace those trees, but I am going to try to save them. We'll see. I'd like to start to put up a little perimeter fence. That's one of my goals. And of course, finishing these trellises and figuring out what I'm going to grow there. That'll be good. But for now, I'm going to go back into the shade. Have a great day, guys. Bye.